How's it going, everyone? It's Liam Carson here. It's time for more Supernatural. It's episode 11 of season 7. I don't know how this episode's gonna go for me. I mean, obviously, with the last episode in mind, I think emotional would be quite the understatement. I know there were a few people dreading me getting to this episode, which is always great because of the, of course, sad circumstances with Bobby. I don't know if this is going to be an episode with Dean and Sam processing everything, because it's been quite the season for them as we hit the halfway terrain, with obviously Castiel and the Leviathans just being an absolute pain in the arse. Obviously with what happened to Bobby in the last episode on top of things. Yeah, I'm not really sure where things are going to go with this episode, so I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, last episode was quite something. I know, yeah, there were quite a few people just bracing themselves, and yeah, because it was a tough one, and I think my I don't know if my reaction basically you know, showed that. So no, in all seriousness though, let's get into this episode of Supernatural. It's episode 11 of season 7. Let's go.
You do know we're venomous, right? Looks like I didn't dose you quite hard enough. That's
Oh,
okay.
who the heck are
There's
you?
more where that came from.
Oh, what? I don't think she's vampire, but
That's for the crappy tip.
nice. Wait, oh my god. Yeah, the last thing that Bobby instructed them, but
I mean, should we be telling people? I mean, people he knew?
How long ago did I give Frank these numbers? It's been a few weeks, right? Is he nuts or is he just being rude?
Probably both. Dean,
he's
I
not
haven't
gonna.
asked you a
He's
question.
yeah,
Plus, of course,
he's
something
ignoring
happened to
it
He
for
can't
a
pick up the phone
reason.
because of Leviathan. And thanks for drinking my entire beer.
I didn't touch your beer. Mine's right there.
What? Unless,
You probably drank it without noticing.
because I heard a little shimmer. Unless that was Bobby.
I get it. You don't let strangers in. But if your dad said you could trust Bobby, then you can trust me.
Stranger danger.
Just so you know, 911's on speed dial. One button.
Yeah, sure. No taken. Can I borrow this?
Shit. Oh yeah, because
Thanks. Here. Here's a number.
I've,
In the next couple days.
most likely answer father
I promise I'll
or
check in.
mentor. Least likely
That's
answer. There you go.
Okay, acquaintances.
Yeah, don't get too
That's
carried
just
away.
what a Leviathan would say.
Oh my god.
Not a Leviathan. Gwyneth Paltrow is not a Leviathan.
Whoa. What?
Trust me.
You know what, Frank? I think you've been doing a little too much research.
Imagine
Anywhere,
the theories
anyone.
online.
Who's to say this ain't the day they come for old Frank, who knew too much?
Oh no.
Oh, whoa, look, I'm obviously not.
Fair's fair, douchebag.
Yeah! Who's to say you're not a Leviathan? Who's to say I'm not a Leviathan?
Back.
Hey, cut me some slack. You called me like 4 days ago.
I called you 4 weeks ago, Frank.
What? No. Really? Days, weeks. Quit busting my chops.
Are you kidding me?
You cool your heels, Buster Brown.
Frank, I paid you 15 grand for this.
Yeah, I get
Holy
that.
No, you
shit.
don't get that.
For a Levi-related 5-digit number written by a dying drunk, and you come up flat. You know when you start to wonder, hey, maybe I'm missing a number.
Well, how do you figure?
Oh, I don't know, because Bobby was dying of brain trauma. I just had a tickle that was
Yeah, I
uneasy
mean,
enough and was
to
popping
put
out.
it like
So I
that,
set
he
up a
didn't have
program
enough
to run
strength, yeah.
possibilities for. He gave you coordinates to a parcel recently purchased by Wellman Inc. a subsidiary of Richard Roman Enterprises.
I can't with Frank.
It'll be the sap that this one says manager, that one says technician. Sometime this month.
I love their dynamic.
A bell.
You know it's gonna be a little difficult to set up surveillance if there's surveillance everywhere.
Right. We
Surveilception?
need to tap into theirs instead.
Yeah, surveyception works.
All right, now what?
I tried to find a way to make it sound better, but
When
that
was the last
works.
time you really slept a night?
Let's just work, all right?
Be nice to get this girl's dad back home to her, you know?
Oh.
All right, I can use your help. Call me.
So yeah, definitely not a vampire. Oh no!
Your manager's...
No.
You sure?
It's not safe here.
She like
Private.
Ruby for once? Looks it. There's a joke there somewhere about like Sally and who she really is compared to Ruby and who she, you know, was. Of course, in Once Upon a Time. And I swear the little girl looks familiar, and there's obviously Jericho. Everyone's coming out with the woodwork.
So fake it.
I call it being professional. Do it right. With a smile. Or don't do it.
At the end of the day, though, it's going to get to a point where he's just going to drive himself to a point of where he'll kill himself. Oh, hey, bud.
Ringing in your ears. It's from the venom.
Venom.
Yeah. Venom. They hit you with some kind of knockout juice. Get off, but they don't have to. They got nothing to worry about.
Yeah, they think, well, you're not going to escape, so...
3.
She was on his last leg. Lovely. Well,
Did Sam tell you where
hopefully...
he was going?
Still trying to figure out. What did you tell him?
Be a regular kid. Don't say anything. Stay out of the line of fire. Let the adults work it out. So much for that.
Yeah, she knows.
End it.
Like,
Okay, I have had a long week.
wow!
I'm coming. Or you're not going.
What the... Oh, oof.
Ow.
Now hand it over.
I can't. I burned it.
You what?
But lucky for you, I memorized it all first.
Oh my god, she's got him in all areas!
And you never told Sam? Wow, thanks. How about sharing that with the rest of the class so we don't all get killed?
Sam was away at Stanford, smartass.
Sam went to college?
You could too, you know. Go to college.
Yeah. He look at him, he's trying to look out for her.
/pediatrician.
Give her a life. Doesn't want her to wind up in this gig.
Or so... I could take my time.
You're lying.
No. Just want you to know how much I enjoyed cutting up your sister.
Wow! Okay, he saved that guy's skin because one more bite and
Yes. No one fist bumps anymore.
Come on, give it up. Good work.
You're a dweeb. What the hell?
I got an idea.
Oh.
I'll let you stay here.
Oof. Yikes!
Dad, hold on, I got you.
Of course she escaped.
Everything's gonna be fine.
All right, enough with the family bonding. It's time for you to shut up.
No.
He can't help you.
No, she can't. Dean's gonna have flesh. Yeah, with Bobby and. Oh shit! Oh! Yeah, you're outnumbered. There is no way you're surviving this. Oh, but what about Chrissy's guard?
Bad actress, huh?
Yeah, I take it back.
This kid is just... yeah.
No. They all get killed first.
Yeah. Or lose someone. Like, even if they try to get out that life like Sam did. They lose someone close to them. Jess.
Should probably let you get some rest.
Take care of yourself.
I loved that, though. That little fist bump. Their little rapport going on.
You're right. We should just work, right? Figure out a way to kick Dick Roman's ass.
Kick Dick in the dick.
Hey, we are.
Oh, Dean. Like, just, yeah. Listening to Frank's advice and... Ooh. Yo. Oof. That's it, though. You gotta... That's a fight to have, really, with, you know, the smile, what Frank said, what Jericho said. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I cannot escape him from Eustachius Jericho, because he was a mega star on Doctor Who, in our hearts. In our hearts. But it's just very interesting, because you had Sally, who was Ruby in Once Upon a Time. And I swear Chrissy played someone. I need to look her up, because it's, like, bugging me. But I'm like, she's recognizable. She's got that face where I've seen it before. And it's like, yeah. I'm not gonna lie though. What's my head doing? I'm not gonna lie though. You know, with Chrissy, she's kind of settled and all of that. But I don't know. Give it a few more years when she's matured a bit, and if, you know, this thing is still if this thing comes back for her, I wouldn't mind seeing her, you know, come about, like, as a recurrence every so often. But yeah, it was good stuff. Yeah, I wasn't really sure how this episode would proceed, given obviously the events of the last episode, because I did have an anticipation that we would be dealing with the grieving and all of that. Given that it was only the last episode and we did end on that very, very sad note. But I wasn't really sure, like, how much focus the pain would be compared to, you know, other, themes throughout this episode. And, you know, you've also got to take your viewers into account, I'm sure. With Bobby, he was a very much loved character, and I'm sure, like a few people have kind of indicated on the comments on my Patreon. Of course, I'm sure there'll be a few more comments expressing their sadness when the video comes out onto YouTube. But yeah, like a few people have indicated, there's going to be a huge group of people that would have felt very, very dejected and yeah, very pained. So, you know, you do think about adding potentially a bit of levity to the situation, but also keep it in check with the just because the last episode was really, really sad doesn't mean, okay, we're going to make it up. Next episode is going to be, you know, a beach episode or whatever. You still got to keep that train rolling, really. You still got to keep the remembrance and the somber atmosphere intact, because otherwise it does lose the flow. But it also really, really paints in well to what Dean was suggested by Frank, and it was great to see Frank again. about how you essentially fake it till you make it, I guess. That line was just stuck with me when Frank suggested that. But that's it though. Like, it's that situation of just put on that smile and keep moving forward. But at the same time, you know, there is going to reach a limit. So, because you can't just essentially forget about the pain that is following. So, for the time being, you put on that front, you put on that fake smile, and say I'm fine. You know, those two words that are just pretty synonymous to the world is falling apart and I just need a hug. Just say I'm fine. Yeah. But that's it though. When it comes to the themes, the mixture of somber and levity, I'd say, in this episode. Because obviously it's going to be, like, the pain is still going to be there and you've still got to carry that forward. But obviously this whole episode is not going to be completely sad. There's going to be moments that will raise that smile on your face, which there were quite a few. But of course, it's in the background of things, it's still pretty dejecting. So I really, really loved that balance because, yeah, we're still seeing how Dean, mainly Dean, is processing with Bobby's death, but also we are seeing, like, in terms of the levity situation, we're seeing people like Frank. There was just some very iconic moments. I did like the whole serious matter when he did, you know, tell him to just put on that smile and all of that. I mean, it does hurt to see. And like I said, there is going to be a point where he's just going to break. But in terms of the levity scenes, you know, Frank, who we saw before, he's a very fun character. So yeah. So yeah. But it was a very, very powerful scene. Because obviously Dean is probably the most impactful person to say this to. It's not a system that many people I feel like would recommend because you know, as you know, we've expressed a few times, when it comes to bottling your emotions, it can be very, very unhealthy. But we also know that there is currently that this season Dean has exhibited unhealthy examples anyways. So yeah, compared to just putting on a smile and faking it till you make it and pretend everything's okay, etc. Yeah, because obviously the drinking has gotten bad this season. Which we'll get onto that also in a moment, because there was something very, very eerie in the early part of the episode, and I think you guys will know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I think the alternative to putting on it's a rock and a hard place situation, because the alternative to putting on a smile and going through the day focused on the job, etc., is drinking yourself to death, essentially, and putting yourself in a reckless position, because we know that Dean's mindset has, when it's not the drinking, it's also the very negative atmosphere that he surrounds himself at, in terms of, well, the Leviathans are just kicking our ass. We may as well throw the white flag, etc. That's the alternative, really. So, yeah, and it just does suck, because, yeah, I mean, with the Leviathans, they are not taking a rest day whatsoever. They need to be dealt with. And yeah, but Dean can't drink himself to death any further. And I mean, you know, before what happened to Bobby, it was, you getting pretty bad, given the events of season 7. It would just get worse with, of course, Bobby, because Bobby was a very close character to the boy. So, yeah. So this is really the alternative for Dean to digest, because he's out of options and he's running himself tired. So Frank has to give him some advice in terms of how he has been treading this path, really, given the fact that he did state about the fact that he lost his family, etc. So yeah. But yeah, and it does really signify how burdening the life of a hunter can be, which of course, given the whole Chrissy situation, is pretty prominent. But yeah, I mean, the alternative to putting on a smile and getting the job done is drinking yourself to death and putting your and quitting and all of that, and just yeah, just dying like that. If the monsters are not going to get you, the inner demons will, I guess. There's no easy way to deal with this in Dean's position. So, but they've got a job to do at the end of the day, Sam and Dean, which you know, they're focusing they're focusing through the whole dilemma by wanting to work and putting their mind at a bit of a distraction. So yeah, and I do get that as well, in terms of like wanting to just take your mind off things and wanting to work through whatever. Whether, like for me, for example, if I'm in an episode of depression or whatever, if something has been, you know, kicking my ass emotionally and all of that, I do want to work through, like, I don't want to, you know, dwell upon it, because otherwise, yeah, you'll just break down and just, yeah. I do want to, like, keep myself distracted so I can, you know, raise a smile, whether that be reacting or whether that be writing, or whether that be gaming. There will be the occasion where I will want to power through it, power through the issues that I might be facing and all of that. I mean, this year, for example, or, you know, when this comes out, I don't know. It might be 2024. I can't. I'm not exactly sure. I don't think it will be, because there's like still 2 months left in the year to go. But you know, this year, for example, has been pretty shitty for me. And there have been a lot of days where my mental health has decided to want to take a bit of a spiral. But you know, some days I feel like a distraction is a very good way to process things. Whether that be writing, whether that be reacting, whether that be gaming, whether that be music, etc., etc. Of course, there might be days where it just might be too much, and sometimes I just need to rest and all of that. I mean, the gaming and music thing is technically resting, but sometimes, like especially in the early part of 2023, I just want to huddle up into the bed and just sleep the day away. So, but you know, I still, like, even though that things have gotten a tiny bit better throughout 2023, I still have my days where it's just not a good day for my mental health. And yeah, I'll you know, distract myself, see if I feel better after watching. It's funny I say that, actually. See if I feel better after watching Supernatural or The Vampire Diaries, when there's probably trauma there and all of that. But you get the idea. It's a good distraction. It's like, I love doing reacting and all of that, and it's a good way to distract myself. So yeah. But yeah. I do want to talk about, before I do move on to the whole Chrissy situation, I do want to talk about that beer scene, where what we had in the early episode, where obviously the bottle was empty, and Dean was like, "Did you drink from my bottle?" And I was like, "No." So, yeah. But I do have a couple of ideas going on, because I did hear a little shimmer, and I'm sure you guys would have as well. But I wasn't sure if that was like, Bobby still sticking around and all of that. So I don't know, because like I said, I did hear a bit of a shimmer. So yeah. But also, given the fact that Dean's drinking has been worse this season, and obviously with what happened to Bobby, it could be a sign that things are getting worse. And you know how you have your blackout drunk and whatnot situation, it could be like that. So yeah. So excuse me. Yeah. Ooh. Anyways, so yeah, because I did find that a very, very eerie scene that they're not going to throw in just for no reason. So there's obviously significance, whether it's ghost activity or whether it's Dean's drinking getting a bit worse given what happened to Bobby. They're not throwing that scene in just for, just to fill in the time or whatever. Like, we need 5 more seconds of padding to complete the 42-minute mark or whatever. So they're not doing that. So there is significance, which I'm sure will be explained later on. But yeah, Chrissy was a delight in this episode, I felt, as well as her whole relationship with her father and everything. But I did like the whole dynamic between Dean and Chrissy, because there were, I mean, I wouldn't say it was just for Dean in terms of there being reminiscences of Dean's youth as a hunter, but also Sam, really, because you just got to think of some of the flashbacks that we've had in Supernatural when we've seen Dean and Sam at such a young age, and they'd go to motel to motel whilst John was hunting, etc. And we know that there would be times where Dean had to have that responsibility of looking out for Sam. So when John goes out, there's no idea when he's going to come back. So there's that little bit of reminiscence for when it comes to Chrissy, and her dad's not coming back, Sam's not coming back. So yeah, as well as the fact that they are temporarily guarding or being a guardian for Chrissy, mainly Sam. But actually, it was 50-50 really for Sam and Dean. So yeah. But with Dean, there was a bit more of I feel like a bit more of a connectivity for quite a few reasons, especially when it came to Dean trying to make her stay in the car and stay out of this whole business, even though that Chrissy is, determined and all of that. Because it is like looking into a mirror when it comes to Chrissy. Dean was very, very young when it came to hunting monsters and all of that. Probably Chrissy's age, actually. So it was literally like looking into a mirror. And, even though she was so determined, even though that she, I guess I would say temporary hunting life, because it seems like we're putting things at a bit of an end now for Chrissy, which is great. But she saw her mother getting mauled, she said. So, yeah. And, yeah. It's not just that, though, but she's still young at the end of the day. And you do gotta think that Dean is a lot older than he was when he was, when he first, I guess, he has a lot more experience under his belt. And he doesn't want to kind of bring the same kind of influence that John did when it came to young Dean. He doesn't want to be like John at this moment, so he has to tell her to stay in the car. Because I figure he would be around John's age by now. Like, I don't know how old John was when he died exactly, or how... yeah. But, given this is season 7 and, Dean's, gone through the ages and all of that now, I'd say he'd be around John's age when, you know, Dean was, I guess, Chrissy's age and everything. It would be like a little bit of a deja vu moment. And he wouldn't want that kind of, like, symmetry to impact on Chrissy. He doesn't want to, he doesn't want to put himself in John's shoes. So, yeah. But it's also that fact of, trying to give her a future and all of that. Especially with the fact that Dean and Sam, there is no, like, they've tried. There is no way out of this. With Chrissy and her father, there is a future for Chrissy to live. And that is a very, very important thing because of the fact that this is his chance to save someone who, you know, alternatively could put themselves in a position where they are setting themselves up for a grim future, no matter what, no matter how hard they try. This is their opportunity to get out of Dodge and have a good future for themselves. So this is a very, very important matter for Dean. He's getting to save Chrissy's life, and yeah. So yeah. And it was really, really great to see her be able to save the day and all of that. So, yeah. Like, she did save both Sam and Dean, as well as her father. But it's not a situation that you, you know, want her to adopt fully. So, like I said, she's got this opportunity. She should grab it. So yeah, because at the end of the day, yeah, she's got this chance to, yeah, she's got this chance to do what Dean couldn't do at the end. So yeah. Otherwise, she's just setting herself up for a very grim future. And, you know, she does have that kind of flair about, I know what I'm doing, etc. And, yeah, there's you know, no worries about me. I'm like you and all of that. But Dean's got that little bit more experience. And, you know, kids will be kids at the end. So they think they've got it, but, you know, all it could take is one little mishap and all of that. So, and that will be stained into her mind for the rest of her life. So I was so worried that her father was actually going to die, and that was going to kind of stick with her. So, yeah, but thankfully, you know, Chrissy and her father get to live for another day, and hopefully Chrissy gets to enact on that future, gets to have that normality. So, yeah. But yeah, a solid episode of Supernatural. Really, really loved it. And yeah, like I said, I feel like with the levity and somber and, you know, like, ambience that was in this episode, it was done really, really well in my opinion. So, yeah. So yeah, I will see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Check my videos on the right if you want to check out more of my content. You can also subscribe to my media feeds and channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Hope you guys take care, and I will see you guys next time.